Estoy con Sophie, ella es una ultramaratonista que tenía un gran mioma de 15 centímetros que evidentemente le imposibilitaba hacer su actividad cotidiana y que le hemos realizado una histerectomía por laparoscopia a través de pequeños orificios y parte de su principal temor era cuán rápido se podía recuperar. And now I would like to share how was your experience before, how was your expectation of the surgery before, and also how was the post-operative recovery?
So after speaking with you, my expectations were very high and I felt very positive. So I felt that I understood everything about the surgery that I needed to, and I felt confident that I would be moving very quickly and then potentially running within 7 to 10 days after the surgery. And that's what actually happened. So after the surgery, I had maybe 2 or 3 days. I felt a little tired, but I was walking a lot. And within that time, I started to jog a little bit while I was walking. And by the 7 to 10 day mark, I was able to run continuously. Not very far, no ultra, but I was able to run.
Yeah, because the key point here is that there is no evidence, there is no scientific evidence to really avoid postoperative activity, mainly after this minimally invasive surgery. So that's why you are a good example that physical activity, even running, right after the surgery, 10 days after the surgery, it is possible and also it is feasible and it is not associated with an increased risk of postoperative complication, right?
Yeah.
And also, how was the expectation before the surgery?
So the expectation, as I said, was very good, but I had originally been told I would be not running for 6 to 12 weeks, and that I would be looking at returning to full training at around the 12-week mark, which as a runner is a really horrible prospect.
Yeah.
Because by then you have lost most fitness and it's very hard to then build back up, and I have lots of plans for next year.
I remember that you had a plan before the surgery to return to your normal activity, because you are an ultra runner and also you follow a strict criteria to training, and also training for you is very important, not only to be trained, but also for many other points, right? For example, you mentioned the issue of endorphins, which is also important for you and for all of runners.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, running obviously and all activity is very good for your mental health. And if you do a lot of running and then you suddenly stop, then obviously your body's going to have a bit of a glut of a lack of endorphins. And so the sooner you can get back into that, the less chance you have of starting to feel depressed. And obviously if you start to feel depressed, you don't want to go running. And so if you can avoid that dip and you go straight back into it, then that's obviously much better.
In any way, there is no evidence to avoid physical or to restrict physical activity after the surgery, and mainly after this minimally invasive surgery, even though, let me tell you that, even though that we also had to do as a big incision, 8 cm incision, to remove this big myoma from your body. But even though this incision, there is no contraindication to return to the normal activity, of course, but mainly to run.
So I think the most important thing is that you can resume your normal activities really quite fast, and that you will actually feel better for doing so. So you might think that sounds counterintuitive, but actually to return to your normal activities will help sort of clear the after effects of the general anaesthetic, but it's also just a nicer way to live. I think nobody really wants to sit on the sofa for 6 weeks. So.